Hey everybody, welcome to the Parker and the Man page at yournews.com. Mark Wilson with your webcam for this Cinco de Mayo. Should have been a happy day, May 5th, 2010. It's always a happy day on Cinco de Mayo. A lot of celebration, a lot of partying. I'll be honest with you, this is not the one I want to do. Actually, I thought about not doing it. But on the passing of Ernie Harwell, a guy I've known for a long time. We've all known him, right? I mean, everybody in Detroit, everybody in Michigan, baseball fans around the world know Ernie. We knew this day was coming. He was diagnosed with the bile duct cancer, incurable and inoperable. What was it, 8-9 months ago now? And he passed officially last night, May 4th, at his home in Novi, at the retirement village that he shared the apartment with his wife Lulu. Miss Lulu, been married for 68 years, love of his life. Lulu, God, baseball. Basically family, always came first with Ernie. Obviously, his faith, his beliefs, his religion second, and then baseball third, and those three kind of intertwined in Ernie's life. What can I say that hasn't been said? What a terrific man! What a great guy! 92 years old. We had a lot of fun with Ernie over the years. He could make fun of himself. He could joke with you. He was more sarcastic sometimes than people thought. He could be a little blue at times too. It wasn't. Sometimes he wasn't always just sunshine and lollipops, which was good. I mean, he was a man's man. Every time I go to Comerica now, I will just stare at the picture and the statue. I think it's a cool idea that on Thursday his body will basically lie in state at Comerica Park, 7 o'clock in the morning. You can start filing in and seeing and paying last respects to William Ernest Harwell. Boy, his years with the Tigers, I don't even know what to say. I think I'd just be repeating everything. I got great stories. I wrote some of them today. Read the column. To repeat them now is just, all I want to say is that we're going to miss him. He was one of a kind. There were no other peoples like Ernie Harwell. I called him Ernesto. I always called him Ernesto. He would say Mr. Wilson many times. He was always... I said, Mr. Wilson's my dad, don't do that. I'll tell you what, I wrote that Ernie's gone, and I'm not going to be used to that for some time. And when I think about him, I can't do anything but smile. We knew it was coming, so we prepared. He tried to prepare us even in September last year at Comerica when he had the final speech for the most part. I talked to him in 2010, his birthday I called, and then after that, and then he stopped taking calls, and his health failed, and he finally passed last night. But, boy, I'll tell you, when we think about the life of Ernie Harwell, 40 years with the Tigers, 55 years overall in broadcasting, Giants, Dodgers, Orioles, and, of course, the Tigers for the longest span of time with a variety, myriad of people, the late George Kell, Ray Lane, even Gene Osborne, and Paul Carey, the great Paul Carey, working with Dan Dickerson and Jim Price at the end there, up to 2002. And being so vital. And I've always said this, one of the things I always want to say about Ernie, and I don't want to forget this, is how hip he was. He wasn't some old man, get off the lawn. When he got to his 80s and 90s, he was relevant, he was substantial, he was significant, and he was hip. And he loved music, and he wrote music, and he loved books, and he loved just a ton of stuff. He was just a Renaissance kind of guy. So I did find some things to say about Ernie more. Then maybe I was going to be tongue-tied or kind of choked up over the death. But I'm going to miss Ernie, that's for sure. We're all going to miss him. I feel your pain. We mourn together. And my condolences to Miss Lulu and the Harwell family. The Tigers' moment of silence in Minnesota was a nice, classy move by the Twins organization. Twins won the game, beat the Tigers, 4-3 on the ninth inning play. Brendan Bosch, a guy that we're going to see a lot more of, hit the game-tying homer in the ninth. I like the shot of Scott Sizemore tipping his cap on the Harwell thing. That was pretty cool. But the Tigers have one more in Minnesota than they had to Cleveland. Just a little bit about that in there. Obviously, the whole piece is dedicated to Ernie. The Wings lost, 3 straight 4-3 games now in overtime. They were up 3-1, blew a 3-1 lead in the third. Patrick Marleau scored against Jimmy Howard in the final in the overtime. First overtime for the Wings this playoff season. And now the Wings are down 0-3. That's a huge hole. That is one that is rarely overcome in hockey, actually overcome in sports for the most part. Hockey, twice it's happened. 1942, Toronto against Detroit came back from 0-3. And 1975, the Islanders against the Penguins came back from 03. The Wings are 0-4 lifetime in these situations. Doesn't look good, people. Panic in Detroit. You may start to panic. Game 4 is tomorrow night at Joe Louis Arena. And I was going to hold off on American Idol results from Frank Sinatra Week with Harry Connick Jr., who was terrific as a mentor. But Ernie loved music so much, and I'm pretty sure she was a big Sinatra fan. So I'm going to say that I'm going to do this. Idol results, I had, of the top 5 left, I had top 2, middle 1, and bottom 2. Lita Wise was the best. My Chicago guy, Lita Wise was the best of the night. Big Mike was right there with him, so that's my top 2. The middle one was Crystal. The first 3, Crystal, Casey, and Aaron, were kind of highly mediocre. I thought I'd put Crystal because she's Crystal. She's Mama Socks, and she's probably going to be there at the end, and the dress was nice. Bottom 2, Casey James and Aaron Kelly. Aaron, you're 17. You made it the top 5. It's time to go. I think Aaron Kelly will be voted off, even though Casey James could easily go too. I think it's going to be a toss-up there. But I would probably keep Casey around with Aaron. It's enough. It's a great achievement for a 17-year-old. Make a top 5 at Idol. So there you go. Long-winded webcam, but honestly, I didn't have anything prepared on Ernie because I don't think it's proper to prepare. You just kind of talk from here, baby. To Ernie Harwell. All right. Parker Demand page, yournews.com. Read the piece on Harwell. The passing of Ernie at the age of 92. He is going to be missed. And I don't know what to say about that. Rest well, my friend. You've earned it. That's what I wrote at the end.